Hey, what's happening, guys? Good morning. So today we're talking Amazon merch, and the title of today's video is 3 types of Amazon merch sellers. Now, I was thinking about this last night, and I think most Amazon merch sellers and really print-on-demand sellers fall into one of 3 categories. And I think why this video might be relevant or helpful to some of you guys is, you know, whether you're new to merch or whether you've been on it for a while, like, how are you approaching merch? What's your strategy? What are your tactics? And just kind of how are you approaching the business? So I wrote a blog post about this morning. I'll post it in the description box below. And kind of going along with the blog post, man, it's been about 2 years. I've been meaning to come out with like a rulesforrebels.com, kind of like a home for, you know, my YouTube channel and this whole Rules for Rebels thing. And I wanted to have a blog. I also wanted to have like a couple data sheets. I know a lot of people who watch my content are like just getting started with making money online. I know a lot of people don't even necessarily know all the opportunities that are out there available to them. So I wanted to have a section called like data sheets, where we'd have like a data sheet on affiliate marketing, a data sheet on e-commerce, drop shipping, print on demand, and basically kind of introduce people to kind of all the different ways that they can kind of get their foot in the door and start trying to make some money online, as well as like a little bit of info to kind of help get people started as well. So, you know, I kind of got sidetracked and I'm like, oh, I should do Wix. No, I should do Squarespace. No, I should do WordPress. Oh, I can't decide on which WordPress theme. And I just really haven't done anything for it. So that's something that I've been meaning to get to here in the near future. And I think I'm not alone in this. I was watching Merch Mind with Glenn and Young, Glenn of Hustler Hacks, and he was kind of saying the same thing. He's like, man, I really got to get kind of my own personal blog up there and stuff like that. He's like, but you know, I got so much other stuff going on, it kind of takes the back seat, and I've kind of fallen into the same thing. So I am going to be getting kind of a blog and a website together. I might implement some kind of forum into it, but I did want to kind of get started doing more blogging. It's something I used to do a lot more years back. But getting into today's content, so I feel like there's kind of 3 categories of people who get into Amazon merch. And here's what I kind of think these 3 categories are. I'd love to hear from you guys in terms of, do you agree that there's these 3 categories, or do you think there's any more? And also, which one of these characters are you? So the first one is the dabbler. Now, the dabbler is just somebody who's kind of messing around with print on demand, right? They're probably newer to e-commerce, making money online. They heard about print on demand or Amazon merch or Teespring or Redbubble. It's something that's very low barrier to entry. You don't need any money to get started. It's something almost anybody can get started doing pretty quickly. And they're just like, you know, shit, this seems pretty cool. I'm going to give it a try. We'll see what happens. So that's kind of the dabbler, is somebody who's just kind of playing around with it. They're kind of new. As far as like serious merch sellers who are about their business, I feel like we have 2 categories. So number 1, we have the designer. The designer is an artist, right? The designer is a graphic designer. They don't necessarily have to be schooled or have a degree in graphic design, but it's somebody who's truly an artist. They take great pride in the work that they do. They really, you know, pour themselves into the design work that they do, and they're really proud of their designs. And I think oftentimes the designer gets frustrated that, you know, they pour themselves and their time into these designs that are oftentimes very amazing, very intricate designs. And a lot of times these guys get frustrated that, you know, they kind of get lost in the shuffle with the people, probably like myself, cranking out like crappy text-based designs, but cranking them out at, you know, huge levels, trying to play the volume game. And especially even more so recently, I'm hearing a lot of people like, man, I do amazing designs, but you know, it's just too saturated. You just can't get ahead. My designs just aren't seen. And that's something, I forget if I posted the video the other day or not, but I think driving some traffic and doing some promotion of our own designs is something that's going to become kind of a necessity in the near future, if it's not already the case. But I think the designer comes at this more as an artist than they come at it from a business person. And that's kind of their major skill set, right? Is the creativity and also the ability to kind of execute on designs and make good looking designs. And then thirdly, we have the business person, or the marketer, as I call them. Now, I don't really follow them much or whatever, but I hear them talked about a lot. There's a couple guys, I believe their channel is Merch Empire. They're referred to as the Jersey Boys. It's these 2 Jersey guys, kind of like muscle dudes, Jersey accent, you know, very, very stereotypical Jersey. But these guys, they're not designers. They come at this 100% from a business perspective. So as far as I know, they don't do any of their own graphic designs. They have teams in place. I don't know if they use like VAs or people from the Philippines off like onlinejobs.ph, or if they have an in-house team. But basically, they're approaching this not at all from a designer standpoint. They're approaching this as a business. So they're hiring designers. They're kind of getting a process in place, getting almost kind of, even though they're not supplying the shirts, they're almost kind of getting a supply chain in place. Again, coming at this completely as a business, hiring designers. I don't know if they do their own kind of SEO and listings and things like that, but I imagine they probably outsource that as well. But I mean, they're literally like a print-on-demand factory, for lack of a better word. And I think that's how a lot of people who come into Amazon merch, and even the print-on-demand industry as a whole, are. I think a lot of us aren't designers, we're marketers. And what I mean by that is, like me, myself, I don't consider myself a graphic designer. I do a lot of my own designs. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like my #1 strength by any means. And so I use, in the past, I've used Fiverr sellers. I don't really use Fiverr anymore. I do have a VA that I use, or a designer that I use off onlinejobs.ph, somebody I found out of the Philippines. I have a family friend, somebody I know in real life who does some designs. And I also use a service called Penji, which is unlimited graphic designs. It's pretty expensive. I was actually thinking about canceling it. But, you know, I almost think of the print-on-demand industry almost like affiliate marketing and online marketing. You know, a good online marketer can sell anything. They're not really in a specific industry. And just to kind of illustrate that, like a lot of people who 5 or 10 years ago were into the adult industry or adult niche and making porn sites and things like that, when that becomes saturated, what do? They just kind of hop onto the next trend or the next hot thing. So a good marketer can really sell anything. It doesn't matter what the product is, what the niche is. And I think that's what a lot of people who come into print-on-demand are, is they're good marketers. And I personally think of print-on-demand almost as much as being affiliate marketing as I do think of it as being e-commerce or about graphic design. It's kind of like a weird hybrid between all these things. But as an affiliate marketer, how do I make money, right? I drive sales to products of other people's. I drive sales to other people's products. Now, how do I do that? Well, I can write blog posts and put hyperlinks in there. I can run a blog and run banners on the side or header banners. A lot of affiliate marketers use infographics to maybe compare two products or explain a process or educate somebody on something. A lot of affiliate marketers make videos. You might make a review video for a product and then link to that product. And so in affiliate marketing, you're using content to drive buyers to buy a product. Well, in print on demand, the t-shirt is actually your medium, right? It's almost a form of affiliate marketing. You're selling somebody else's product. You're selling either Redbubble's product or Amazon Merch's product or Printful's product. And you're just the marketer trying to sell their t-shirts, right? So rather than writing a blog post and driving traffic to somebody to buy a vacuum, I'm creating a t-shirt or hiring somebody to create a t-shirt. And that t-shirt is a medium that I'm going to use to get somebody to buy basically a blank t-shirt, but with my design from Redbubble or Amazon Merch. So in a lot of ways, you know, the print-on-demand industry is just affiliate marketing on a different medium. So that's kind of how I see print-on-demand. I think we see the dabblers, the new people. I think we have the artists, and I think we have the online marketers. And I'd be curious to know which category do you guys fall into, and another reason kind of why this is relevant. So what is, you know, I imagine we got some Gary Vee fans here. I don't watch a ton of them, but, you know, I kind of know what he's about and know kind of his message. And one of his big things is figure out what your strengths are, figure out what your weaknesses are, double down, triple down on your strengths, and fuck everything else, right? I think that's literally like his quote. And, you know, keeping that in mind, if you're somebody who's not a graphic designer, if design and layout and, you know, visual balance and things like that aren't strengths of yours, like, you could probably invest a lot of time into learning to be a graphic designer, but you're still not going to be as good of a designer as some of the other guys out there. So I guess kind of keeping that in mind, like if design isn't your natural strong suit, print design, outsource it. If you're more of a natural marketer, if you know about SEO, if you know how to drive traffic, focus on that, outsource the designs to somebody else who's good at that, and focus on being a marketer. And that's kind of where I fall in. I am trying to improve my graphic design skills because it's cheaper being able to crank out some of your own designs. in terms of like from a creative standpoint, a lot of times an idea that I have in my head, it's kind of hard to communicate that to one of my designers and get them to do it. So I think having a more accurate representation of my ideas and my concepts would be good. And also, I just think graphic design is kind of a good skill to have all around, making banner ads, designing websites, making visually appealing blog posts. So that's something that I do want to get better at, but at the end of the day, it's not a huge strength of mine. So, you know, that's just kind of my thoughts for the day. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.